So yesterday was very interesting and very juicy. So we got the official news that DC are doing their DC FanDome event again, which is going to be freaking insane. But on the same day, someone at Warner Bros. Entertainment decides to upload the Justice League 4K trailer to troll Zack Snyder and undercut Zack Snyder and to try and bury Zack Snyder. It makes absolutely no sense. So the video's got nearly 19,000 dislikes. It's for a channel that's got 1.5 million subscribers, 150,000 views, 20,000 dislikes. Absolutely insane that they keep trying to troll the SnyderVerse fandom. And literally every single comment, restore the SnyderVerse, restore the SnyderVerse, restore the SnyderVerse. You missed April's full by a month, restore the SnyderVerse. And some of these shots weren't even used in the Justice League. So I've got no idea. But the Justice League is canon to DC. Zack Snyder's Justice League movie isn't canon. I mean, you even get the Russian scene, the awful Russian scene in this trailer. It's actually really funny to watch it. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? This is going to be a long video. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the content. DC, Marvel, Godzilla, loads of content. So check us out here. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Hit the notification button because that algorithm sucks. Also, check us out on Twitter, Warstu G, aka The Maverick. Also, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the face behind the voice. So lots of information came out yesterday. It also came out yesterday that Zack Snyder Justice League debuted at #1 in the official film chart. Yet the movie did very bad. It did so bad. Yeah, it's debuted at #1. Interesting. The closest competition, fellow DCEU film and former 6-week #1 was Wonder Woman 1984, originally released in March 2021 on Sky Cinema. Zack Snyder's Justice League smashed it. Yeah, #1 on the charts, but yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Right, let's go over some other information before we go. Okay, so Samba TV. This data is pretty false. Pretty false. So they released some information, and it's interesting. So Samba TV has the Snyder Cut, Godzilla vs. Kong, Wonder Woman 1984, and Mortal Kombat, which it's very interesting. So they're still trying to say that Snyder Cut only did 1.8 million views in 4 days. Wonder Woman 84 did 2.2, and Godzilla vs. Kong did 3.6. If this is true, why is Zack Snyder's Justice League movie #1 on digital download? That means people are physically paying for it. Wow, it just makes no sense. Wow. Zack Snyder Justice League started lowest, and Wonder Woman 84 and Godzilla vs. Kong had very high views, but they were at the same point. I mean, this graph, I'll overlay a picture of it. This graph, it's made up pretty much. We all know what happened at the AT&T Investors Day. They literally put HBO Max and HBO Go together to try and justify some agenda, which is pretty funny. So, DC FanDome event is later this year, October the 16th, global fan event that lasts 24 hours. So they're currently shooting the Flash movie in the UK. They're also currently shooting BlackAdam, and they will be shooting more movies later this year. Aquaman 2 starring Jason Momoa and Amber Heard, as you people will love her. So the Batman movie should have came out this year. In fact, last year. In fact, I don't know when it originally came out. So we will be getting trailers at this event. Most likely Robert Pattinson's The Batman will be getting another trailer. Most likely be getting some new information about the Flash movie. They're probably going to try and milk Michael Keaton and Batfleck being in that because that's the only draw, because no one cares for Ezra Miller. Sorry, son, no one cares for that. People only care for the cameo roles, though. Batfleck isn't really going to be a cameo role, but from what we're hearing, he's only really going to be in the first kind of act of the movie, I guess you could say. So yeah, we'll get some information about Aquaman 2 as well. That'd be cool. Also, BlackAdam, as The Rock started to shoot now. The Rock is meant to be restoring the SnyderVerse, although The Rock would never actually come out and say anything like that. So it's kind of redundant if you're going to talk about that. So also there'd be some more video games at this, maybe Injustice 3, and maybe some information about Gotham Knights, which essentially is a spin-off Batman video game, kind of, I guess. So it's touring the rounds that WB trolled Zack Snyder's Justice League again, because they should have just uploaded the release the Snyder Cut version rather than the Justice League in 4K. I wonder who's gonna buy that. Pretty much no one. So there is some interesting information going around that Warner Bros. Is getting involved with the Matt Reeves movie for the Batman, and apparently Warner Bros. Wants Matt Reeves to change some of the Batman scenes, but Matt Reeves said he would literally walk away if that happened, and you got some Twitter trolls thinking they know absolutely everything about movies, yet they don't work in movies. This is what makes me laugh about. Twitter super duper scuba says they know so much about movies, yet they don't actually work in movies. They know that much, yet they know nothing. So it just makes me laugh. It's like randomly coming out with stuff. It's like, I'm pretty sure Warner Bros. Would have said something about something. It's not always standard. Some directors do get complete creative control. And we know that essentially the same happened with Mortal Kombat. The best fight scenes weren't even in the movie, according to the main actor, which is pretty interesting. So what you're probably all here for, although I'm probably going to put it towards the end of the title, is the SnyderVerse stuff, which is interesting because, as I say, these websites, these Twitter scoopers, these random websites keep backtracking. Now, there's been one person that's been consistent with this SnyderVerse is returning. Actually, there's been a few people, to be fair, but on YouTube, I think I'm one of the most consistent people. So there's an article here dated March the 11th. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is an active development for HBO Max. Okay, remember that in March. Okay, I don't like to backtrack, but people do backtrack. HBO Max is getting ready to greenlight Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, and it doesn't really work like that. It has to go through Toby Emmerich and people like that. And yes, I get in so many conversations with people going, yeah, but Jason Keller and John Stankey can just overrule it. No, they can't. I mean, they could, because they were the people that Jason greenlit the initial Snyder Cut. But as I said in previous videos, they already had the footage there. They were only adding one additional scene. They tried to add Jon Stewart into that movie, but Jeff Johns was like, no, you can't use Jon Stewart because I said so, and I want to try and screw you over the movie again, allegedly. So it would be interesting. And then this website goes on to say, this would be an HBO Max production according to our sources. Oh, right, because Justice League Snyder Cut was on there. Yeah, okay, there are no sources. It makes me laugh because I question these people. I ask them, so who's your source? Because I know a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So when I talk to these websites, it's the people that write these articles and stuff, and they go sources, I go, well, who's the source then? And they won't, but I know the sources. I know most of the sources that actually are credible. So it's interesting when they won't tell you the sources. So essentially, one of my sources told me they are considering releasing it early on the streaming platform. Now, I must alliterate, Justice League sequel is in early development. No, it's not in early development because Zack Snyder already knows what he's doing for 2-3. So it's not in early development. It might be in early development from the point of view that the process stage of actually making it happen. But no, and then is the same website, okay, March the 11th, SnyderVerse is dead at Warner Bros. According to Grace Randall. Okay, let's go back to the other article. Exclusive. Snyder Cut Justice League 2 is in active development for HBO Max. Not really an exclusive though, like March the 11th. I get it, that was before the movie actually came out. So Grace Randolph is now saying it's dead and buried, which is interesting. This is not something that I really wanted to write. However, it does align with what we've been told from insiders for quite some time. Okay, quite some time. Okay, yeah, in March, you were like active development, and now you've been hearing information that it's pretty much dead. So Grace Randolph is somewhat credible. She put a video out saying the Snyderverse seems to be done as far as the Warner Bros. Executives are concerned. Now, this is a quote from Grace Randolph about the future of the Snyder Cut. Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of drama behind the scenes of the Snyder Cut, as you know. Okay, that's true. And so the very high ups. Now, for me, this is where it gets really interesting because I know exactly what's going on. I'm talking like the upper echelon of people in charge of Warner Bros. It's interesting how she never mentions Warner Media and it's keep going to Warner Bros. They're just not going to greenlight any more of the stuff. They're just not going to do it. I think it became personal for them. Interesting. It became so personal that they decided to upload the 4K version of the Justice League with some scenes like the Russian scenes and some scenes that weren't even in the movie. So yeah, I mean, I just discredit the whole article here because if you're going to say, yeah, it's in early development in March, but now because Grace says it's not in development, it's not in development yet. Warstu said the Snyder Cut was coming 6 months before anyone else. I was said on HBO Max, and then it actually happened yet. I'm not a credible source because I don't have a following. All right, cool. So yeah, essentially, people were backtracking, going back and forth, back and forth. It's happening, it's not happening. It's happening, it's not happening. Now, I'm not going to come on here and go, yeah, we're getting everything. Everything's going to be released at DC FanDome. Yeah, the Snyder Cut, the Batfleck story, everything's going to be confirmed at DC FanDome event. That's what everyone's expecting to happen. And that's what the Twitter super duper scoopers are saying. I can't wait for the first website to say that, you know, DC FanDome event, they're greenlighting everything. Oh, right. What happened at last DC FanDome event? Ben Affleck's return in the Flash movie got leaked, but Ben Affleck was done and dusted, just like the Snyder Cut was done and dusted. It's all jokes and stuff. I think it's pretty funny. So yeah, this is my standpoint about the Snyderverse. It's not done, it's not buried, and my standpoint hasn't changed. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to say it's dead and buried because it's always been personal for Warner Brothers. At the moment, it's chill. So just chill, guys. This is not a Snyderverse video, but I had to mention some Snyderverse-based stuff in this. Now, it's going to be pretty cool to see how they do tackle the Flash movie, but essentially, if you watch The Flash, it's going to be some collaboration of Flashpoint mixed with Crisis on Infinite Earth, and they're going to try and use the Flash movie as a multiverse plot device, as we said in the video the other day, to try and justify all these other random stuff. And that is why Matt Reeves' variation of the Batman is on a different Earth, and that is why the alleged Black Superman movie with apparently it's gonna have Michael B. Jordan, potentially, but he pitched it years years ago. So if that does happen, then it should have happened a long time ago rather than happening now. That would also be on Earth 2. So it seems to me that they're using the multiverse storyline in the Flash to chuck everything onto Earth 2 instead of just have it on Prime Earth, because Ben Affleck's gonna die in the Flash movie. But that sounds ridiculous because Ben Affleck's gonna get him to rewrite the part of the script where he's in the movie just for him to be killed off in the movie. Yeah, I know. That makes absolutely no sense. But DC FanDome event is gonna be freaking cool. There's gonna be so much coolness there. If you remember last year, Matt Reeves did actually show us a lot, and that footage was only after them shooting a few weeks. Just imagine what he can bring now the movie's done and dusted, and probably by October reshoots will be done. And also there'll be projects like the Flash movie. It started shooting a week ago, so by October that's a massive chunk. BlackAdam just started shooting, massive chunk. Aquaman 2 starts shooting in the summer, I believe it is. So yeah, it could be trailer central. We could get a reveal of the BlackAdam suit, a reveal of Michael Keaton's Batmobile potentially, or what he looks like. Interesting enough, they're shooting the Flash movie pretty close to where I am at the moment, so that's pretty cool. So likewise, guys, this has been a huge update about what is going on, and we could also get updates from what's potentially happening in Wonder Woman 3, the kind of Batman show that's going to be on HBO Max, and there's going to be a bunch of other stuff. It's a 24-hour event, so there will be a lot of the stuff, and of course it covers all the DC Arrowverse shows and Titans and stuff like that, so it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, guys, this is not a SnyderVerse video, but my standpoint is the same. The SnyderVerse is not done and buried. It's not buried at all. There is a reason why no one is talking about it publicly, and no, there is not a gagging order. So apparently there's this rumor going around, and I reached out to sources and no one actually can verify that, so I don't know what to make of it. Interesting, but guys, that's just, you know, a little tidbit, but not really a tidbit, because I don't even think it's real. Like, I hear a lot of information, and sometimes I reach out to not Twitter super duper scoopers, actually real sources that actually work in the. Let me know what you think about this video. Also check us out on Instagram at Warstu if you want to see the face behind the voice, or just check out on Twitter, Warstu aka the Maverick. Yes, I know some people dislike me, but I'm just telling you guys what I've heard. Take it as that. If you believe me, cool. If you don't believe me, cool. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.